Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the It's Your Time show with me, your host for this show, Abigail Barnes. Whether you are joining me live today on the live stream or you are catching up on the replay around about now or in a few months' time, Happy New Year, happy day, happy wherever we happen to be hanging out together. So I am so excited that today it's just you and me for a solo episode and a conversation all about 3 top time tips for 2022. So today I'm going to share 3 top time tips for 2022. Let me know in the comments where you are joining me from. If you have any questions as our time goes on, let me know in the comments. If you are catching up on this on the replay, you can also leave a comment. And if you're listening to this in the future on the podcast, send me a message. So I'm so excited that we get to hang out together. I love bringing the guests on the show, but I really love the opportunity for us just to hang out together. So say hi, let me know where you're joining from. If you are able to, or maybe you're not, because maybe you're out and about. And this is the most amazing thing about technology these days. We can just catch things wherever we are, whenever we are, and we can also catch up on the replay. So let's get started then. As I said at the beginning, welcome to the It's Your Time show. Each week, we bring you transformational stories from entrepreneurs and professionals around the world who are sharing their life-changing experiences to give you proof of what's possible after adversity, as well as inspiring and motivating you to take control of your time and to take action on your dreams. And it's so exciting that we are having this conversation together at the start of 2022, or as I said, whenever you are tuning in to listen to it, because I truly believe that every day is a new day. Every day is a new opportunity for us to step into the life, to step up, to take a chance on our hopes, dreams, and aspirations. And by the end of this episode today, I would love to hear what you are going to commit to yourself to taking an action on as a result of hearing something that we're going to discuss over the next sort of 20-30 minutes of our time together. So as I said, on this week's show, it is me, Abigail Barnes, who is going to be sharing 3 top time tips to save you time in 2022. So I am an award-winning entrepreneur, a time management author, an international speaker, and the founder of Success by Design training. I'm also the creator of the 888 formula. And as we start a new year, let's turn over a new leaf and see time for what it really is. So to me, time, like money, is a commodity. We can trade our time to get more of what we want. Only, unlike money, most of us don't value our time enough, and we just squander it believing that we are going to get more of it. And, you know, in most cases, we wake up every day and we continue and we do, you know, we keep putting things off until then, or when this happens, or when that happens, or I can't do it right now because. And the thing is, each of us have a limited time here on this planet that we call home. Nobody knows for certain how long they're going to have. You have as long as you have. And that's not to start this conversation morbidly. That's just to give a framework for the conversation. So I experienced that feeling 10 years ago next month when at the age of 32, I had a stroke on a work business trip. Now, these kinds of things don't tend to happen to 32-year-olds, and they don't tend to happen, when you go away on a trip. You're going away on a trip to go away on the trip to do your job. But in the moments when this was happening, minutes before the ambulance actually arrived, and I found myself at death's door, facing the end of my life, the realization that I had was that I had been wasting my time. I had been putting things off until tomorrow, or because, or any other good reason. So in the moments when I thought that this was the end and I started fighting for my life, fighting for my time, fighting for a second chance, that was when it just all fell into place. This is what time is about. Time is what creates our life. So in the work I do, in the book I've written, in any conversation I'll ever have, I am never here to just talk about how to hack your to-do list and, do more, be more, have more from that point of view. It's always from a foundation of, this is your time, this is your commodity, this is your one opportunity. Like, you might get tomorrow, but you'll never get today again. So when we're having this conversation, I really want to ground it in this fundamental feeling and emotion that we're not just talking about how you can have more time to arbitrarily have more time to be like this amazing person with inbox zero. Who cares? We're talking about how you can have more time so that you can have more time to spend with the people you love. You can have more time to focus on your hobbies. You can have more time to spend on a relationship. Find a relationship. Which then sort of brings me on to, let me know in the comments what some of your goals are for 2022. If we hang out on LinkedIn, you'll have seen I did a poll at the start of the week, just asking people, because I am genuinely someone who is fascinated by people, by what they want, by what they do, by what they're focused on. So what are your goals for 2022? Because the goals that are sort of coming out on top are health goals, is the number one thing people are focusing on this year. And then the second thing that people are focusing on this year are their careers, which sort of tells me that a lot of my following on LinkedIn are professionals. So tell me, whichever platform you're joining from, what your goals are for 2022, because I'm really interested. And I'm going to just hop into the comments now and see who's here with us. Amazing. Andy, hi. Hi, Hettel. Happy New Year. To be intentional and to be present. What an amazing goal. I can't see who it is who shared that because it just says LinkedIn user. But I absolutely love that. We've got people joining from Chicago, from New York. I know Andy's in Shropshire. I know Hettel's in London. I love that already we are having a global conversation here. So your goals, your hopes, your dreams, your aspirations for 2022 become more achievable when we talk about these 3 tips. Now, tip number 1 is step number 1 in my book, Time Management for Entrepreneurs and Professionals. I have a copy behind me. Here it is. Perhaps you also have a copy of this book. So tip number 1 is step number 1 in the book. And that is audit your time. So tip number 1, audit your time. And we're auditing our time for a couple of reasons. The first reason is we're auditing our time to see where our time is going. We're also auditing our time to see what is influencing our time and taking our attention. So how do we audit our time is the question you're asking. Now, let me read from the book, How to Audit Your Time, because I get asked this one a lot. So as I said, it's step number 1 in the book, and so it is on page 16. So audit your time or track your time to have a clear understanding of how you are currently spending your time. I want you to track your time for a week. So that's 7 days, right? Just for clarity. People ask me these questions, I want to be clear. So track your time for 7 days. And I've also written, this record is for your eyes only. The reason I wrote that is because some people start tracking their time and it brings up all sorts of fear and anxiety and guilt. Nobody needs to see how you're spending your time currently. That's your business, right? But be honest about how you record. After all, you're doing this for yourself, so there's no point in making it up. With the book, it says in here, go to our website to download it, but with the book, you get bonus training with the sheet that you can download. So that's already included. And I recommend that you print it off and that you hard write it, because when you see it physically in front of you, it is going to trigger something different in your brain. Don't be tempted to do this task for a couple of days and then start making changes. This is a big one. Trying to fix the problems for yourself, because these are habits that you are likely to have had for a long time. So they are not going to be easy to change. I know this because I tried to shortcut this myself and it didn't work for some of the reasons I will outline below. Side note, I just want to say the Audible version of the book by popular demand is going to be coming later this year. I know lots of people listen to things on Audible these days, so the Audible version is going to be coming. But at the moment, we still have a physical copy of the book. So if you want to grab that, the link to that will be in the show notes. It's also on our website. And if one of my helpful friends wants to put it into the chat, that would be so awesome. But you can grab a copy of the book and it will walk you through it. But otherwise, that's how you audit your time. You write down everything from the moment you wake up in the morning to the moment you go to bed. I recommend that you do this in 30-minute chunks of time. 15 minutes is what some people like to do. 5 minutes is what you might do if you're a lawyer, but 30 minutes, you can chunk your time and you can start to work out where it is going. And once you do this, then you can start to make the changes, which is then step or tip number 2. So tip number 2 is get real with yourself. So this is a bit of tough love here. Get real with yourself. Own the audit where it's at right now. If your audit was perfect, you would have the life that you want. But if your audit is bringing up that it's not perfect, then that is absolutely fine. But get real with yourself, own it, accept it, and say, oh, okay, this is where I am right now. If you had the life that you wanted, how would you be spending your time? And then that leads us into tip number 3. So tip number 3 is when we start to make a plan for our time. It's your time. So now you are choosing how you spend your time and you are starting to plan out what you want from your time. And so this is putting in things like time for yourself, time for your family, time for your relationships, time for your personal development, time for more sleep. So let me know in the comments. Thank you so much, Beth, for sharing that link to my book. Let me know in the comments, if you had an extra hour per day, what would you do with it? So if you actually got an extra hour a day, what would you do with it? Because going through this exercise in the book, auditing your time, getting real with where you're at, helps you to reclaim an hour a day. It's highly likely that you will be able to get more than an hour back a day. But let's just start with an hour a day. And thank you, Beth, for sharing the other link. The book is not currently on Amazon yet, so that link for Amazon would be going to the old book. And I know that you'll all want the new book. So what would you do with that extra hour a day? Sleep. That's fantastic. I absolutely love that one. That's from Beth there. That one comes up quite a lot when I ask people this. And when you start to recognize where your time is going and why you're not able to get enough sleep from the audit, from step one, you can then start to make the changes to get more sleep. I love that we're having this conversation at the start of the year. I love that there is so much potential in this for you, because auditing is something that you can do on a step one level of just auditing where you're at right now. And then you can audit again in the future and assess where you've got to, and you can audit again in the future after that and assess where you've got to. And if you have ever read the book The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks, he talks about a very interesting phenomenon where we hit ceilings for ourselves and we set a limit of where we believe that we can get to. So constantly auditing your time as time goes on, it's like a game of, climbing the mountain, if you like, that we audit our time, we get a bit more time, and then we want more time, so then we audit our time again and we make changes. So we're tweaking. I guess the best way that I could share this as an analogy would be to say, imagine when you're cooking something and you have a recipe and you're following that recipe, and the first time you cook it, you might follow the recipe and you eat it and you think, oh, maybe it needs a bit more of this and a bit less of that. So then you tweak the recipe. And then the next time you cook it, you think, oh, perhaps if I added this ingredient to it, that would be delicious. So then you tweak the recipe again. And then you go away, and a few months later, you're thinking, oh, maybe I could add this to that recipe and see what happens. And so this is the same with our lives, is our time and our relationship with time is always going to change because our lives are always going to change. When you start a new job, or when you start a new business, or when you become, a new parent. My sister has just had a baby in the last few months. My brother's just had a baby in the last few weeks. Their lives have totally changed very, very quickly. But it's not going to stay like that forever. The baby will learn how to sleep through the night, because that's what babies do. We're all adults and we sleep through the night. And these are things that happen in life. It all evolves. So when it comes to you and managing your time, it is possible for you to keep improving and improving and improving. And I say improving insofar as it's not necessarily that what you have got is good or bad. It's that you are evolving it to become more of what you want, because you are evolving as a person. And if you look back to who you were maybe in 2019, before the pandemic, you've hugely evolved. I don't know about you, but I have hugely evolved as a person from who I was then to who I am now. So I think about things in a totally different way. I tend to prioritize taking a walk in the morning over starting work as soon as possible. I will prioritize going to bed earlier. Now, I used to sort of be a person that went to bed maybe 12:30, 1 o'clock, and then get up that little bit later, or try to go to bed later and still get up earlier. But now I'm a person who recognizes that going to bed earlier and getting up earlier works better for me. So in all of this, it's about learning and testing and evolving for yourself. The book is 88 pages long. It's short for a reason. It's chatty for a reason. It's like a buffet introducing you to lots of different concepts. It's got 8 pages on the 888 formula, which is something that we love to share around how you can divide your 24-hour day based on science and society. So science is saying 7 to 9 hours we need to be sleeping, so let's call that 8. Society saying 8 hours is a working day. So then what is left is the middle, and this is your life. So in the book, we explain a little bit more about the formula, and we talk about strategies for getting more sleep and why sleep is so important. So if you have any questions about any of this, then let me know in the comments. Otherwise, it has been absolutely amazing to hang out with you today and have this conversation around 3 top tips to help you improve your time management in 2022. I look forward to hanging out with you as the rest of the year unfolds and bringing you more amazing and inspiring guests from around the world who are going to be sharing their transformational stories around how they overcame adversity and took different steps, tried different things, did different actions, and what that actually meant for them. If we hang out on social media, I am spending quite a bit of time on Instagram and another social media app called Clubhouse. So follow me on Instagram and you will find out all about when things are happening. Somebody said to me recently, Abigail, you've come out of the gate in 2022 with a lot of stuff. There is a lot. I cannot be everywhere and follow you for all of the things and be live and support you. So here is something that I want to say to you, because it might be applicable to you for your life, for when people say things to you and they give you feedback. You have to do you. You also have to understand that people will meet you where they are at. People will catch you when they catch you. It's the same with all things in life. We can't be everywhere. We can't be in all the places, but we get what we need to get when we get it. So recognizing and understanding from an abundance mentality that I always hear what I need to hear when I need to hear it. I always see what I need to see when I need to see it. And I have enough time. So these are mantras that I use in my own life. I say to myself, and I would like to share them with you today. Try them on in your life and see how they work. But understand that sometimes the way that you do things isn't going to work for everybody, but sometimes the way that you do things is just who you are, and that's okay. And that sometimes the way you try things doesn't work, and that's also okay. So it's really in 2022 about giving yourself the opportunity to lean in, to try new things, to lean into the pain, to lean into the discomfort, to lean into the not knowing, to lean into the not necessarily being perfect at it, and just give it a go, because it's your time. The clock is ticking on your life, on my life, on our lives, on everybody's lives. There has never been a better time to try something new, to give something a go, to phone somebody that you've wanted to phone. Perhaps there's somebody who you have a secret crush on and you really want to phone them and you've not phoned them. Perhaps there's somebody that you want to work with and you want to reach out to them and you haven't. Perhaps there's something that's on your mind, like a friendship that you want to rekindle. Take the action. Do it today. It's your time. It's your life. And I am so grateful that we've had this opportunity to hang out today, whether it's been live, whether it's been on the replay, whether it's been in the future, because it's amazing. So I love you. You are amazing. Keep going. Don't doubt yourself. Back yourself. And I look forward to seeing you again next week, or on another social media app somewhere before then. So take care. Stay well, keep washing your hands, and I will see you again very soon.